am.
It's all right. I'll start this. Hey-ho. Welcome everybody to session 3, Scorers next level sessions here. Thank you for joining us here for another good night of learning with Marie. She's just about to get underway, but just a little bit of housekeeping before we do get underway. I unfortunately won't be here for the full meeting, so I've got another meeting on at 12:30 here at headquarters. So I'll be leaving you in the capable hands with Marie. If you do have questions, do ask them. Marie will see them in the chat. Just be a little bit more patient where if she's into taking you through something, it may take a little bit of time for her to refer back to the chat. Other than that, I hope that it is a good session tonight. I hope you enjoy it, but I will be joining for the first 15 minutes because I enjoy learning about scoring too. So are you all sorted, Marie, to take over?
I think so. Yes, I am. Hopefully, I am.
Awesome.
I've got a few things to go through, and so I'm just going to sort of. Yeah, I'm going to go through a couple of things. The softball, Auckland Softball's Orange Cap program that they've actually got on the Softball New Zealand website, and just go through a couple of things with that first of all, and then what I'll do is I'll take us through some plays, and then we can have a bit of a think about what we would score in those plays. What I've got is some downloads of some of a US college game, and so going to do 2 innings and discuss what we put with each of them. So hopefully that will work and everything like that. So are we able to share my screen? I've just lost something, I'm afraid. I'll go back. Right, we're sharing the screen. Sorry, I'm just getting myself organised. Share, there we go, and we want to share this one here. Right, so just going through this one, hopefully we can see it properly. It's not.
It looks
taking
good.
us. Yeah, it looks good, but I'm just seeing if it'll take us through it. Oh, yep. So basically going through, so this is a bit of a recap of some of the stuff we've already gone through. Equipment required, for scoring, score sheets, scorebook, pens, ruler, eraser, correction tape. One of the things that we actually talk about, we haven't actually said anything about, is, when you're talking about pens and pencils and what type to use, it pays if you can use if you want to use pencil, that's fine, but if you want to use a pen, a thin nib pen if you can. So we tend to try and use 0.5. If you're going for like a ballpoint pen, the standard one, I think that's maybe 0.7 or 0.9. They can get a bit thick if you're trying to put a lot of information in a box. Now, one of the things also is, and we did a few years ago, we thought when all those erasable pens came out, we thought, oh, this is really cool, these erasable pens. And we were using them and they were all of the rage. And then all of a sudden what we discovered is they fade. So through time, the ink in them fades, and particularly with heat. And what had happened at one stage, I went and officialed a game, and I had put the game onto the into the back window, and went to take it out and copy it and send it to Vicky and I'd analysed it and took it along, and there was nothing on the score sheet. Seriously, there was absolutely nothing because it had all faded. So that's why we sort of try and say to scorers, please don't use the erasables because they do fade. There is a little trick though, if you ever come across it, if you do find, if you do come across some that is faded, what can happen is that you can get it back by putting it in the freezer for a bit, and it brings the ink back. But we do say so that. Clipboard or hard surface if you're not using a score sheet. Wet weather protection. Sun and wet weather protection for you, and if you've got a scorer's manual and a rule book, if you want to, that's up to you. So just a few pictures here. We have some of these. If you haven't seen some of these lovely sort of wet weather tents, I use one quite a bit. They're quite good. Actually, they're really good with the easterly at the ballpark, because you can sit in it and you're warm and everybody else around you is cold. Carrying on though.
Just on that, Marie, if
Yeah.
there's anyone out there that's doing any scoring here at Dynasty Ballpark, you're welcome to come and borrow. We've got a couple in our room here that you're welcome to borrow.
Yep. We say arrive at the ground 30 minutes before the game starts, enter the team as supplied by your team coach, collect the opposition's lineup, and make sure your team knows the correct batting order before the start of the game, and find a suitable place to sit where you can see the full diamond without players getting in your way. And also make sure you're protected from being hit by stray balls as well. If you, yeah. Next, we went through the pitching numbers, and just remember where we go in the infield, we go around the diamond, and then in the outfield around, so we go, go around the diamond, and then we go, so it's right to left and then left to right. We've got the Sporty, so we do the Sporty app here in Canterbury, obviously. We do try and say, try not to do the Sporty scoring only, because you'll get totally lost. So if you try and score the game as it's happening, with all the everything and getting the runners around, you will get totally lost if you don't have a score sheet. So I will do it, but I will just add the outs and when players are out and when they score, because otherwise it's really hard to keep track of. Entering the lineups on the team sheets. Don't worry about number 2. All players on the team sheets are present in uniform. At national tournaments and premier ones, we say full names, but locally, if you want to with your team, just put in nicknames if you like. Batting order has 9 players listed. If a DP is used, you're putting the DP into the order, and the flex, which is the player they're batting for, is on line 10. If you're playing in a grade that uses a designated runner, you put it on line 11. And yeah, don't worry about the shoot numbers. Little note here though, just for your information, there's no penalty for an incorrect shoot number or no shoot number. So with the Softball New Zealand, this is the sort of team sheet that we have here that we would see. I haven't got a game card. I should have done up a game card, but that's an example. We'll have a shirt number, we'll have a first name, and then the position, and then the substitutes. When they do one with a DR, they'll put it on that line there. We're going to just, that's what it looks like with both a DP and a DR playing. But as I said, I'll flicker through that fairly quickly. That's for any of you who are doing premier games in a tournament where we might use those score sheets, or even actually under 15s, the under 15 tournament that use these score sheets, wouldn't you, Anthea? Softball New Zealand, the Softball New Zealand score sheets?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know if that's been discussed.
Yeah, but often you will if you
yep.
Have your club team at an under 15 tournament. So when you're writing up the score sheet, as we said here, the DP is, if you see position 4, Pitadona is the DP there, and he's batting for Daniel Chapman, and that's on the line. That's on the second line underneath. So Pitadona is in the batting order. He's the one that's doing the batting. And if we're doing a runner here, we put the runner down the bottom here. We do it in green. It shows when we put the runners on, it shows, and score the DR in green, it shows that the DR, what the DR is doing as opposed to the regular player. Go past Auckland. Don't want to know. Sorry, there might be Auckland people in here. I'm sorry, my apologies. Scoring symbols. We talked about the strikeouts. the different KC, KFB, that's a foul bunt third strike. If you're wondering what that is, and then K2 to 3, that's where the catcher's dropped it but throws to first for the out. The KA is where there is a runner on first, so we've got the runner here, and because there's less than 2 down, I think we've covered that previously, it's an automatic out. So if there's a runner on first with none or 1 down, that's an automatic out. However, if it's dropped and there are 2 outs, then and they advance a base, for example, in this situation here, it's a PB, pass ball. And what we sort of do here is we split it to show that it's between the second and the third batter. So it's when this batter is finishing and the next one is due up. We have walks and we have hit pitches, and I think we touched on an illegal pitch. Not a legal pitch, an intentional walk. If it's an intentional walk, you put an IBB. When we advance the runners, we use a batter's number. So if we see this situation here with a hit pitch, we advance them with the batter's number. So that a reminder, we've got 3 different types of numbers. We have the numbers for the outs in the middle of the diamonds. We have the numbers of where the ball is hit. So this one with a safe hit to 8, and they're always in here. And then we have what we call the batter numbers, which are the numbers in a circle, and that reflects. So that what that says is the hit pitch happened while it was the hit pitch of batter number 2. Okay. Any questions so far, or am I going quite quickly? Hope I'm not. Right. Carrying on. Scoring symbols, part 2. Those are the different types of symbols there. When we're using the symbols on some of the symbols on a batter, apart from the strikeouts, a fielding position should always be used. Okay. Strikeouts, walks, and when it's hit. Basically, when the ball's hit, it needs to have a fielding position. So we've got here different types of hits that you can have: 1 base hit, 2 base hits, 3 base hits. That's a home run, and it's A for an automatic. We have a safe bunt there, and it's a B on its side. And then sometimes if there's a slap, you can put an S. You don't have to, but you can do. And then when we're advancing the runner to another base, so we've got the situation here, we use a batter number. Okay, so you use the batter number in the circle. So in this situation here, that would be here they've advanced on the safe hit of batter 2. Okay. We talked a bit about sacrifices, the different types of sacrifices that we have. We have a sacrifice bunt. So this first one is a sacrifice bunt, where the ball is bunted to the catcher, in front of the catcher, who throws it to first base for the out, and it advances the runner. So just to recap on the sacrifice bunt, they've got to, it's got to be a bunt for a start, and it's got to be none or 1 down, okay? And then the third condition of it, they've got to advance a runner. So there's 3 conditions there. First condition is it's got to be a bunt. Second condition is that it's got to be none or 1 down, and the third condition is that it's got to advance a runner. So if it's not a bunt, it can't be a sacrifice bunt, so you don't score an SH. If it's not if it's 2 down, for example, it can't be a sacrifice, because if you have a think about it, that third batter is going to be out, and the runner's not going to advance anywhere. And the other condition we had, what was it? Sorry, I said advancing a runner. Yeah. So if in the circumstance here, that runner hadn't gone to 3, and they'd bunted the ball and it held up, that wouldn't be a sacrifice. Okay, it would be probably a FC2 to say that it had been held. but or it may be a safe bunt, but it wouldn't be a sacrifice bunt. The other types of sacrifice that we have are fly ball sacrifice hits, which is when there's a runner on 3. Again, that's the first condition. Second condition, 1 or 2 down. And the third condition is that the ball is caught and the runner scores. Okay, so that's the third condition there. It's actually a fourth, probably. It's caught and the runner scores. So again, 1 or 2 down. The ball is hit. It's hit to the outfield, or it doesn't have to be the outfield. It could be an infielder catching it, and then they score after the catch, and the runner scores. So in the next situations where there isn't a runner scoring, you just advance them with the fly symbol here, the F symbol. So when we're advancing the runners, we're using the symbols and a better number. And remember, when we were talking about it, if you don't know, or if you're struggling with trying to keep up and think, oh, what do I put? How do I advance the runner? Make sure you get the batter first, and then just put those lines that we talked about for the to advance them the other bases. So the first priority is getting the batter to base. The next priority is how they score, and then the third priority is getting the other ones round the base. One of the things we haven't touched on is sometimes there's a foul fly ball that is dropped and it should have been caught, and you think, oh yeah, they should have got that. So what you can do is you can put a line here, and we look at this FF, and we call it an E2. So that's basically showing that the catcher should have caught it. It should have been an out, and if it had been an out, what it's done is it's prolonged the life of the batter. So we actually do throw a error against the catcher, and we put it in there, and we just put a line there to show that that player would have been out but for that dropped catch. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Just going through a few of these. These are a few trickier ones. IF, infield fly. That's where the umpire has got to call it as an infield fly. So an infield fly, just go over the infield fly rule again. It's when there is none or 1 down, and there are runners on 1 and 2. The umpire, and it's hit within the infield or can be just outside the infield. The umpire should call infield fly, batter is out. And if they call it, you put down IF and the person who took the catch, or if it wasn't caught but it's still out, who was nearest. If it's a drive, that's a flat hit. It can be, you put a D. L2 is batting out of order. Sometimes you might get batting out of order. So that's why it's really important to watch who's supposed to be up. And if there's an out for batting order, you put L2 there. If they bat out of order, but nobody picks it up, so it could be your team, you think, oh, oops, they bat out of order and it's a peel play and nobody said anything. What you do is this MTB here, which is misturn at bat, and you just put it across there and you don't count it for anything, but you still keep your batting order so that you make sure you're scoring the right person who's in the box at the time. And then this IG2 is illegal batting. There's a whole load of situations that fall into illegal batting. Things like batting with the wrong type of bat, with an altered bat, batting out of the box, yeah, those sort of things all come into illegal batting. Right, we'll go on. Here, this is some of the stuff for advancing. We looked at the stolen bases and wild pitches. If we've got 2 runners on, what we do with wild pitches and pass balls is we do the lead runner, so this one here with a big WP, and we do the other one with a small WP. That's so when we go and count them, when we do our our analysis, we don't count 2 wild pitches. There's only been 1, so that's why we do that. The only situation where that changes if it's the KPB, because that's the most important one there. Caught stealing, it's when there's a throw to, obviously they're caught out on the base in a steal attempt, and it's only in a steal attempt you put caught stealing. So it's only after a pitch when they take the runner out either at 2 or 3. In that play there, that is there, there's actually a missing symbol there, and it's probably a T. It should probably be a 2T6 because there's got to be a tag. RI is runner's interference. So what that is when the runner bumps into the fielder and is called out. You put the RI and whoever the person they bumped into, it gets the out. A missed base. So if a runner misses the base, so in that third situation there, the batter number 3 has hit a home run, but unfortunately that batter has gone and missed the base. So you put the first bit of the advance for the home run to 2, and then because they missed the base, which is an appeal play, you put missed base. Any questions yet? Am I going a bit fast? Oh, sorry if I am going a bit fast. So these are a lot of these are, we're getting into some of the advanced symbols here. LB is when the it's left base early. So if they're called out for leaving the base early, it's LB. We used to put CS caught stealing, but we want to really differentiate from when they leave early, rather than a caught stealing where the catcher actually takes it's a steal. H4 is when they're hit by a batted ball. That's a really strange one up there. I don't know. Oh, yeah, sorry. No, it is. It's when they're out for being hit by the batted ball. So if they run into the ball and are out for being hit by the batted ball, it's an H. Going on to errors and advancing runners. So these are used for both batters and runners. This, by the way, this is downloadable off the Softball New Zealand Scorers website if you want to go back to it. OE6 is where it's a fielder's interference, so they're safe, but because of the fielder's interference, so the O says it's is obstruction rather. E shows that it's an error because you've got to error the fielder, and then a 6 shows that it was the shortstop. So the shortstop ends up getting an error for that. And so similarly, the COE2 is the catcher's obstruction. So that's where they get on base because the catcher's the bat's hit the catcher's glove, or the glove, sorry, probably the other way around. The glove has hit the bat, and they get on base. So that's a catcher's. That C is for catcher's obstruction. It's an error, and it's to the catcher. How can batting out of order be to the fielder? No, when we did that are you talking about the LB there, Terry? If that's LB, it means left base early rather than batting out of order, which is just L. Is that what you're getting at? No, the L2 question. Going back, I'll have a look. This one here. So the batting out of order is when they're, if they should have come up to bat and they didn't, and then the wrong person comes up to bat and the team appeals and says to the umpire that's the wrong person batting, and the umpire will probably go to a scorer and say, and then discover actually it is, that batter is out. So that's why it's L2 for batting out of order. Whereas missed turnip base, it's if it's not picked up. Is that explaining what? Yeah, it is. The 2, the catcher gets credited with that put out. So the catcher gets credited with quite a few putouts actually. Batting out of order, the catcher gets credited with all strikeouts. So unless it's like that 2 to 3 one, the catcher gets the credit for all the putouts. Illegal batting, again, yeah, we said that the catcher gets the credit for that. Yeah, lucky catcher, I suppose, getting the credits for those. The whole reasoning why the catcher gets the credit for the putout of a strikeout is that the catcher's got to catch them to get the out. The pitcher will still get the credit for those strikeouts in their pitching stats, but we're talking about the credit in the fielding stats, and that's why it's a credit to the catcher. How are we going? Are we getting a bit confused, or are you okay with some of this? Going okay. Right. What's the time? Just looking at it. What I might do is I'm going to stop that sharing there. And come back to you. And as I said, I've got a PowerPoint and just going to go through a slideshow for, as I said, it's a presentation that I'll share again. It's a, yeah, where are we looking at? We're going to look over to there. Right, and it's a mixture of stuff coming from the from an American college woman. So we're going to start off with, so we've got a play here, and we're going to go through complete innings here. So we've got a play here, and some of these plays we might just have a think about as they come, as what they could be. So here's the play, the pitch goes down, first of all, so that would have been a, tried not to put too many pitches in between here. That's just the first one here. And we're coming here. And the ball's hit. And it's hit out to centre field. So it comes through again. And just we'll do a quick replay of it. And in a minute we'll show you what we put. Ball goes out to centre field, picked up by the centre field, and a safe hit. There we go, and that's how we score it. Safe hit to centre field. One line, 8. So that's the first batter. We're not going to go through all the different pitches. Here's the next play. So we've got that runner on 1, if you remember. Now, do you think that's an error or a hit? Have a think about it when we have a look at the errors and hits. Do you think did it look like a hit? Was it a strong hit? Should the first base have fielded it? We're going to have a look at it again here. Have a look there at the first base. If you think it was a hit, you're spot on. It was a hit. It was a pretty hard hit ball to expect the first base to try and get. So it is a hit. So it's a hit to right field. Oops, we're getting it again. Okay. Yep, and the runner obviously has advanced to second. So we've got the safe hit to right field, safe hit to 9. We've got this, and the runner has advanced. It's the second batter, and the runner has advanced because of the hit to third base. All right, sussed out, none down, runners on 1 and 2. Next play. Sydney Barker. This is it's Oklahoma, and I'm not sure who the other team is. I can't remember who the other team is. Oklahoma is one of the top college, or has been the top college team for a few seasons. Oh, so if we go back to that other play, what I forgot to say is the runner went all the way round to 3. So we've got there a 1 and 3 play. Now, often when a 1 and 3 play and they don't they don't play the runner at 2, you would put a fielder's choice. But in this circumstance, they actually did, if you have a look here, they actually played the runner at 2. So the runner gets credited with a stolen base. You see there? They made the play at 2. It's very rare for a 1 and 3 play there. And so having a look, and we have their stolen base. Okay, next play. So remember, none down, runners on 2 and 3. Here's the next play. And the ball is caught by the second base. Now, it's not an infield fly that we were talking about because the runners are on 2 and 3. They have to be on 1 and 2. If they'd been on 1 and 2, it would have been, but no, it's not. It is an F4. Okay, F4 there. Next play. So remember, we've got, again, 1 down this time, runs on 2 and 3. Now have a look at this one, what this play was. Have another look here. That is a low flat ball that she caught. And remember, we called it, we said those low flat balls that are straight, they are drive. So it is a D4. Got a D4 there. You see how we're building this innings? And the next play here. Now, at the moment, the pitch count here is 3 balls and 1 strike, just so that you know here. Oops, go back. Actually, it was 2 balls and 1 strike. Now it's 3 balls and none. Lots of bling there. They're the series winning rings. And there, that's 4 balls. So she's got to walk. So we've got there a walk. So we've got loaded bases, runners on 1, 2, and 3 with 2 down. Next one. So the fly ball, foul fly, caught by the third base there. So it's an FF5. So that's the third out. We finish the innings off with the line, and then where the runners were left on bases, we're putting the A for the left on first, B for left on second, and C for left on third. Right, let's do another one. So this is the opposition team that are batting at the moment now. So that was the swing and a miss for the first out of the innings. Strikeout. Quite easy. She swung at it, so it's a straight strikeout. Next play. This is a goodie, this one. So it's an automatic home run over the fence in centre field. So what we're putting there is we've got the home run symbol, round the whole bases, 8, and then it's A to say it's an automatic. Right, the next play here. So we've got a safe hit to left field. Okay. Safe hit simple to 7. We've had a pitching change. Well, we haven't actually. I threw this one in. Now, that's a bunted ball. Now, if we're thinking about the situation that we had with a runner on 1, a bunted ball, it was picked up by the pitcher who threw it over the first base. I actually put this play in as a different one because I'll tell you why at the end of the innings. You'll probably see why at the end of the innings. But what we put with this one is because it was a bunted ball. If this had happened with the runner on 1 there, it's picked up by the pitcher. We talked about it. It's 1 down, so it's less than 2 down. That's the first thing. It's bunted ball. That's the second one, and the runner advanced a base. So it was the pitcher who picked it up and threw it to first base for the out. So it's a bunted ball, less than 2 down, and the runner advanced. And so the runner advanced on the sacrifice hit of batter 4. Okay. I just wanted to throw one in just to show you how that sacrifice worked. And then we've got 2 outs here at the moment, 2 strikes, and that's a 3rd strike, and so that's a strikeout, obviously. So that's the end of the innings. And so the other reason why I also put that one in is because otherwise the next 2 outs there were strikeouts, and that would be pretty boring. Just to do that, I wanted to throw a bit of something a bit different in there. So, are there any questions on that? Any of those? No? Okay. Oh. And I got through that a lot quicker than I thought I would, actually. That was good. Yeah, it's not bad. What I might just do is go back and have a go at playing. We might just talk through a few plays. Go to that college game that I had up there, and we can try and talk through some of those plays. I think that could be quite a good way to go if I can find so we'll do a screen share again. Here we go. So I'm just going to take us to a few different plays here, and we'll talk them through. I'm muting it here so I can talk it. So there we've got a foul ball. So if we're doing the pitch count, we'll put a 2 in there. Unfortunately, I can't show you because I haven't prepared this one for. We've got the ads. Skip. So I think we missed a play there. Oh no. If you want to do some practicing with games at the moment, some of these US college games are really good to just have a go at. You can get full replays of them, and you have some pretty good shots. So that was that play there was an interesting one. So it was caught out there in left field. Some scorers might put that as a drive, and that would be totally okay because it is reasonably flat as opposed to a fly ball. I would probably put in the F, so it would be an F7, but I have seen some scorers in situations like that put a D7. And if you've got any questions as we do it, just swing and a miss, try and go down a bit. Oh, we had something there, didn't we? We've got another home run. Yep, I'll go back a wee bit. Here we go. We hit a home run, didn't we? Yep, here we go. And again, just like that last one, it's a with the symbol, it's an automatic. At this time, it's to 7 with the A and the arrows the whole way around.
Sorry, Maria, we can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen. What one are you seeing? What are you seeing at the moment?
We can just see you.
Oh, sorry about that. Am I not sharing properly? Okay, sorry. So are you seeing the game now?
Yep, perfect. Can see it now.
Right. So we've got here, this is a automatic home run. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know that. Sorry about that. There we go. So if there was a runner on base with that play, okay, do you think that would be that pitch just then? Would that be a wild pitch or a pass ball? It would be a wild pitch because it hit the dirt. Okay, so if a loose pitch like that gets past and a runner advances on it, it becomes a whoops, sorry, just done that wrong. It becomes a wild pitch. Right, let's see if I can find another play somewhere to talk through. Right, so at the moment we've got a runner on 3 here. A foul ball. Actually, a runner on 1 and 3. The little thing here says, and 2 down. We'll go back to that one, just slightly, because we'll have a look at what she finished with. I think I know what she finished with, but one more pitch. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's 48 miles per hour, that pitch. That's not bad. And here's the next pitch. And it's a strikeout, so that's 3. She didn't swing, so that is a KC. So when they don't swing at the 3rd strike like that, it's a KC. So at the moment we've got a runner on 1. What a cool play to talk about. Right. How many people would error the outfielder on that? put a thumbs up if you would. Thumbs up if you'd error the outfielder. Thumbs up. Okay. Thumbs up if you would give the batter the benefit of the doubt and a hit. Okay. Hopefully we'll get to see it again. They'll show it again, otherwise we'll go back to it and we'll yep, they are. So have a look here. It's going. Now, this is where you've got to have a think about the whole thing on whether we do hits or errors. Okay, so one of the thing is, did it look like a hit? Could have done. Should the outfielder have had it? Yep. But one of the possibly, like she came diving in for it. But one of the other criteria is there also, if they'd have taken the catch, would we have said great catch? And probably in that situation, my feeling is, yes, we would have said great catch. So the batter gets the benefit of the doubt there. It's extraordinary effort. So if you think about the phrase that we have, if they should have caught it with ordinary effort, it's an error. If it's extraordinary effort, if you think that they made extraordinary effort to try and get there, it's a you don't score an error and you score a hit. So in that circumstance there, that's a hit. Okay, and the runner gets to 2 on the hit. Any questions on that one? That was a really good play to have there. Yes. Yeah, no, you got it, Terry. Cool. Go back slightly to this one. So we'll go back here. We've got runner on one hook because I think something exciting has just happened here. Looking at it. So just while this is happening, I'll just sort of let you know, one of the things that's come out and it's been posted onto, I think Anthea has posted it onto the website, is that the scorers, we've got our assessments open at the moment, and what that means is that we have foundation level, level 1 and level 2. So if you wanted to have a go at the foundation level, feel free to do it. I think we've got a couple in here who've had a go at it before, or have thought that they might have a go at it. Jane, you've had a go at it, haven't you? Oh, that was a cool play. I've just missed a really cool play there. Oh, sorry. While I was talking, go back to that a wee bit, because that was an excellent play there to go back to. I should stop talking. So we've got the play here. It's hit out there to shortstop, who takes that catch, then throws it. The runner has led off, and they've called the runner out at 2. So that's a double play, okay? And you would score the batter out with a F6, as you can see here, F6, and then the runner on 3 you put there. The shortstop has thrown it to the second base to take the out. You just put a 6 to 4 there, and you would do the double play, score the double play some markings, which I will try and hunt out and show you before we finish tonight. So that's a really good another really good play here to have. So that's a double play. What they're saying is, I think one of the things I noticed on there is they go and have they've got they hit at the Men's World Series as well as, oh no, they're doing a double check here. So they've got yeah, double check vision, you know, umpire cam or whatever. Yeah, third umpire, or actually probably fifth umpire, to see if that was a catch. So they've taken it back for the checking, and you can see there that she's got the ball in her glove and her foot on the base before the runner has puts her paw back onto the base. So it's an out. and I think they'll probably put it as an out. And something like that. Yep, they've put it in there as an out. So, and then we'll just see how. What I'll do is I'll just stop sharing and go through a couple of things here. And find the double play things for you. Actually, I'll share again. So the double play symbol will take you through here. Double play, double plays, double plays. Belinda, can you see it anywhere? What page I'm? Oh, yep, page 28. Oh, right here. It says 28. It's not on page. Oh, yes, there it is there. So we'll make that a bit bigger so you can see it. So double play there. So this is probably a similar situation that we had here, only there's no tag. So it's caught by the outfielder F7. So you put this this wee tag box in here, what we call score in the, like a triangle in there. And this one's back at 3. So, and then you put another wee triangle there to show, and that was actually going back to 3. This is actually probably, if we go over here, this is probably the situation that we just had here with an F6. It's here, and then it would be the 7 to 4. And it's up in there because it shows that they were going back to 2nd, as opposed to this one here, which is an out going to 3rd. Okay, they're both 2 double play situations. The first one is a double play where they, after the catch, they went to 3rd and they took the out at 3rd. Okay, so that's why it's a 7T5. Okay, whereas here it was the catch and they left early. They returning after the catch, and so that's a 7-4. And then sometimes we may have a triple play. I've only ever seen one triple play. To be absolutely honest, but this is what we would do here to show, and the order of the numbers, so 1, 2, 3 shows what the order of the outs. So in this situation here, what I'm guessing from what I see here, or not guessing, so I know here because I can read the score sheet, fly ball that was caught, they both led off, went and threw back the first runner out back to at second base, or the shortstop probably, I would say, stood on the base to take the out if they had led off, and so that, or tagged them, T6, and then threw it over to first base to get this runner back here to first base, and because it's saying going back to first base, it's a 6 to 3, so that's a triple play. We can see those. That's a nice complicated play. Any questions on double plays or triple plays? Okay, so going back to the foundation levels and level 1 and level 2 of the scorers, it's open of the scorers assessments. So this is, if you wanted to have a go at the foundation level, that's the first stage. What that consists of is a whole load, it's all online. It's whole load of questions in about 5 or 6 different sections. The first section is you're asked for some what are some symbols for some plays. So it might say for example, where the shortstop throws to first for an out, what would you put? What would you put for a runner that is tagged out on a steal when the catcher throws to shortstop and who takes the tag at 2? What would you put on that runner? So that would be CS 2T6. So you put in there what the and what it would be out, and there's about 10 of those questions. Then there are some multiple choice questions, which are either there's one section true, false, and another section which is multi-choice. Actually, going back just before the symbols, there's actually some questions on just some basic questions on positions and things like that. So yeah, there's a few questions there. And then there's a few questions on situations. For example, we just talked about where a catcher might be credited with it, some situations where a catcher might be credited without. So you might choose, there'll be a whole load of situations and you can just multi-choice choose them through. So everything after the section where you put what the symbols are is all multiple choice. The pass rate for that is 60%. If you pass it, then you'll get a little message to say, congratulations, you've passed it. And then you can go on and if you want to do level 1. Level 1 is and 2. Level 1 and 2 is scoring a game, just like we saw there. So you're provided with a score sheet, you score the game, and if you want to do level 2, that's analysing the game. And once you've done it, you scored it, you upload it back and send it in. So there's a score sheet that you can download that you can score on. You do your scoring and then you upload back again. If you're going to do level 2 as well, there's some questions about analysis if you're at that stage. Any questions about that? So Anthea, you put a link onto the Facebook page, didn't you, Anthea, for that? Yes, I think Anthea might have gone. Belinda, you've seen it. No, there's no cost to do it, Terry. It's absolutely free, and there's no obligation on you to go any further. Could be a good idea if you want to just have a throw at it and see what it's like. Just a bit of Secret Squirrel stuff. Well, no, it's not Secret Squirrel. We're going to have the foundation level going throughout the year. We will stop it. So this is available at the moment from until the 15th of September, so for 2 weeks. No, not I'll come back to that in a minute, Susan. It's the foundation, so it's available till the 15th, and then probably from about the 20th, I'll open up the foundation only again. Level 1 and 2 is going to Level 1 and 2 is going to is only open until the 15th. So if you pass your foundation and want to do the level 1 and 2, you've only got to the 15th to do it. With the foundation, we will have it open again for you to have another go at after then, whether I do it on the 20th or do it again in October, where you can have a go once in a month to have a go with it. If you pass the foundation level, then the next time we come and do levels 1 and 2, which should be early in either January, February next year, you can go and do level 1 and 2 again. If you finish level 2, the next stage to that, if you want to, if you pass level 2, the next stage to that is doing your, if you want to do a practical qualifying assessment. So Susie's here, and Susie did that last year and passed that last year. So well done, Susie. Yep, she's got a thumb up. So she passed that. What that involved was coming and going and scoring at a, I think it was the under 17 she did, wasn't it, Susie? And she did what we called an assessment game, one every day, usually the first game of the day, along with everybody who was doing it, and whoever's the chief scorer, it was me, and we marked it. And then she did at least one other game every day as well as an official scorer. Okay, so what you need to be able to do to start to do that level is you need to know how to analyse a game. So what we might do is start to cover analysing next week, I think. How many of you are ready for that? Yep, we'll have a look at analysing next week. Okay, so after the one qualifying, you can do a second badge assessment, practical, and then you can get your badge. And so Sarah, who was around, she's not here this week, but she's been around, she got her scorer's badge last year as well, alongside Susie. So, and then from there, that's when we score at tournaments. So we've got here Belinda Youngman, who's the Canterbury chief scorer. So Belinda's online at the moment. Belinda, do you want to unmute and say anything?
if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
I just want to thank everyone for coming along, and I hope everyone's learning anything, but don't be scared to ask questions because that's what we're all here for. And watching those games online and actually seeing the plays is a lot easier to understand than talking about a play.
So, yeah, we might do a few of those as well. I'll try and prepare a few more next week and get some there as well. And then we might have a look, start to look at an analysis. Are there any questions that any of you want to know? Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to ask rather than... No? Okay, we will wrap it up. Thanks for coming online. Have a bit of a go at Foundation if you want to. Feel free to contact me if you want to ask questions before doing it. If you have a look, the exams, I'm the one who sets it, so the exams NZ scorer at gmail.com. You can flick me an email there and I can answer that, or enter in my contact details. I'm just trying to remember if my contact details are on the Canterbury website or not, but message me anyhow through Facebook or something, and I'm quite happy to answer questions or help you out. And so is Belinda, I think, aren't you, Belinda?
Yes, certainly are. And if anyone wants to pass on their emails, and I can always add you to our list and send any correspondence we receive out to you.
Yeah, so that's the Canterbury Scorers Association. Yep. Okay. Thank you for coming along. Have a good week. Again, my apologies for a fortnight ago. Unfortunately, I had a severe migraine and was not even capable of opening up my eyes at 6 o'clock at night. So good to see you all again, and we will see you here next week, same bat channel, same bat time, and we will have a look at some other stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marie.
Thanks.